This is Malaysia, one of the most diverse countries in the south of Asia, with an impressive population of 33.9 million people. A country that is split between three different ethnicity groups, which include Malay, Chinese and Indian. Famous for their multicultural foods, to being a modern metropolis of a city, and as they say, Malaysia is truly Asia. Good afternoon guys, welcome back to another episode here in the beautiful country of Malaysia. If you are new here, just to introduce ourselves, my name's Yad, I'm from the UK and this is my wife.
I'm Dace, I'm from Latvia, and together we are husband and wife. Just to clarify, because a lot of people in comments seem to think we're a brother and sister.
Yeah, it's actually quite strange.
It's probably because we look alike, but...
Guys, in this video specifically, we've actually been in KL now for the last few months. So we wanted to do a bit of a roundup of just basically the best things to do and places to see, and just kind of give our overview of our feeling and our perspective of what things were like in the 3 months that we were here. And by the end of this video, hopefully you guys that are watching are going to get a better idea of what Kuala Lumpur is like as a city, some of the best places to see, how much things cost, and just everything you generally need to know if you're visiting Kuala Lumpur. So guys, get ready because it's going to be a long one, well, a good long one I hope.
Yeah, and it's just to add that the things we're going to recommend here are the things that we personally enjoyed. Everyone's taste is different, but because we stayed here for quite a while, we've explored a lot in and around the city, so we're hopeful there'll be something for everyone in this video.
Exactly, and guys, everything that I mentioned in this video is in no particular order, so there's not like the best things are in the beginning or the end. They are just I've just picked out the best things we've enjoyed, and we've just put it all together here in the laptop, so it's ready for you guys.
I also just wanted to say a quick thanks to all the people of Malaysia for watching us for the past few months, for all your support, for all the lovely comments, for all the educational and informational comments, right?
Yeah, we read nearly every single comment as much as we can, and we also do try to respond to every single one as well, so thank you from my side as well guys, and the both of us of course, for all your support. And it's actually been I think we've had more support than expected, to be honest, and we really do appreciate it. So let's start the video. So first things first guys, I think it's really important to tell you about accommodation and prices.
So if you're visiting Kuala Lumpur, I think the location of where you're staying is quite important. For me and Yad, we like to walk, so we wanted to stay very central around KLCC area because everything that's important to us is sort of walkable.
Yeah.
We were staying in a building called Vortex Suites. It's literally a 7-minute walk from Petronas Towers. It's a lovely building, a nice 2-bed apartment with 2 bathrooms and a separate office space. We also have a gym and swimming pool included in our rent, and we have some convenience stores in the building, including 7-Eleven downstairs, a coffee shop.
I'll just note something. It's probably the smallest 7-Eleven I think I've seen in the whole of Asia. They've just got kind of like your snacks and things like that, but it kind of does the job.
It does the job if you just want to grab a bottle of water or a snack. And then there is a more comprehensive store on the 6th floor if you want to buy some household items. So it's really, really convenient because everything kind of is here. We were lucky enough to have a Malaysian landlady who's been absolutely amazing, and she gave us a price of 850 euros a month, which I think, given how lovely the apartment is, the location, and also the membership of the gym and pool that she included in this, because it's actually paid separately, was a very good deal. Yeah. It was 850 euros inclusive of everything, bills, membership, and it's just been a really lovely stay here.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to have an apartment like this in, let's say, London or somewhere in Europe, it would easily be 3 times the price. Because we're so close to the city, we can literally walk to Suria Mall and we get there less than 10 minutes. It's just amazing. We've got Starbucks, we've got so many coffee shops, restaurants, we've got Concord Hotel. There's just, everything is so accessible. So if you guys want to potentially stay here, you can check Vortex Suites on booking.com because that is actually the building name. Or alternatively, there is also a hostel downstairs, isn't there?
Yeah, there is a capsule hostel or hotel.
Yeah, I'll put the name of it just here so you guys can see what it is. I can't remember exactly, but there's so many Western tourists that stay there. And actually, a friend of mine that visited here earlier, about a month ago or so, she stayed there for about a couple of days, and she said it's quite nice. So you do have two options: either Vortex itself or the hostel downstairs. So if you guys wanted to find a great location, I think this is definitely it.
And we also made a video on the apartment in detail, so you can take a look back so you get an idea of what sort of apartments here look like.
Yeah, if you just click this card here. Okay, so let's jump into some of the best things that I recommend, or we recommend, that you guys have to do when you visit Kuala Lumpur. And I'm going to start off with, as I said, it's in no particular order, but I've got everything written out here in terms of some of our favourite things. And first things first, the one I picked out was Little India in Brickfields. Also, actually, the most viewed video here in Kuala Lumpur. It's got over 120,000 views. So thank you guys for that. And it seems like you guys are enjoying it. As much as you guys are enjoying it, we enjoyed being there so much because it's has so much culture to it. The food's great. And when you walk into Brickfields, the actual area itself is actually very funky, very trendy. And the Little India itself, when you're there, you literally feel like you have just walked into India, or like a small Mumbai. So that's one thing I think we've loved a lot whilst being in Malaysia, is the fact that you can go to Brickfields and feel like you're in India. You can go to Chinatown, you're in China, or there's specific areas for Malay areas, and you can just be in almost three countries in one.
And what you can expect from Little India is obviously very beautiful, intricate architecture on the main road, and just little markets where you can grab a cup of chai,
masala
chai, sweets, just interact with the locals really, and of course enjoy some of the most delicious Indian food around the area.
Which is roti canai.
Well, that's Malaysian food, but it's widely available.
Well, when you're there, guys, I'd recommend going into this restaurant that we popped into. They do some incredible roti canai. Very, very tasty. We absolutely loved it.
So again, you can click on our Little India video and see everything we've explored in that day in and around the area. There's also some trendy areas in Brickfields. We ended up our day on the rooftop.
It's got a loft.
A loft hotel's rooftop, which was really lovely because we just wanted to relax. We had a drink, we watched some sunset, and it was just lovely. Yeah,
and guys, if you want to watch that video as well, just click this card up here and it will take you straight to that video. So number 2 on our list, guys, has to be KL's coffee shops. And you'll probably notice that nearly 90% of our vlogs that we've done here in Kuala Lumpur, we've basically started in a coffee shop, because honestly, we've traveled around the world, we've been to quite a few places, but I've never been to
50 countries to be precise.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to a country that has so many awesome coffee shops. You can, even the coffee shop downstairs in the hostel, their coffee is incredible. So something about Malaysia and coffee just go really well. So I think this part here is really important to mention, because we went to about, I think, 4 or 5 great coffee shops.
We went to more than that, but
these are our favorite ones.
Creme de la creme, yeah. Yeah, guys, it's obviously my fault that we end up in coffee shops all the time. I'm absolutely obsessed with pretty cute coffee shops. I just find them really, really amazing, not just to have coffee, but also to go and work from.
Yeah.
Because we are digital nomads, if you like, so having a nice space where we can have a coffee and work is quite important. So I think our favorite has to be Tapestry.
Tapestry, yeah. I think these are definitely going to be in order. I think Tapestry was definitely our favorite, because when you walk in, it's like super, super cool. It's like a warehouse type of feel. I remember when you walk in, it's got this like gorgeous big curtains and just
trees,
like a mini jungle.
Chandeliers, and it was just, the design was just so trendy and so cool. But at the same time, the coffee was really high quality.
Yeah.
The food was fresh and delicious, especially for breakfast and brunch type of items. And they also had their own bakery, right? There's a lot of cakes and things like that. It's just really pretty, so definitely check them out, guys.
And the next coffee shop on the list, guys, has to be a coffee shop that's called Fika. And Fika we loved actually because it is quite famous for a lot of digital nomads, for people that are coming to Kuala Lumpur and just want to go and have a little bit of a quiet place and have your laptop out and actually do some work. And again, they have amazing coffee and
great food.
Amazing coffee, great food, and it's a very nice, small, cozy little place. One thing I will mention, I did go to another cafe here in KL, and I wanted to take my laptop and do some work there. However, there was actually, when I got there was a sign on the wall saying no laptops. So I'm not sure if that's all coffee shops here, but the reason I mention this is because I'm familiar that there's a lot of digital nomads that come here. So maybe before you go to some coffee shops, just give them a call just in case, because it seems like coffee shops are a trendy thing to do here, and especially on weekends or brunch time, they get very busy. So you don't want to turn up with your laptop and get turned away, because that's what happened to me. I can't remember exactly what the name of the coffee shop
I think it was VCR.
VCR, that's the
yeah,
one,
yeah.
VCR. So nothing against VCR guys if you're watching this, but I'm just mentioning it here because it was just a bit strange. I turned up with a laptop, and then they were like between a certain time that you can't have a laptop. So just be aware of that. But yeah, Fika, great place for digital nomads, great coffee. And the next on the list is Lokal. That's LOKL.
Yeah, it's also a really lovely coffee shop. It's kind of got that industrial little vibe going on in terms of architecture and design. They've got a little outdoor space, and they've got like a top area and bottom area where you can sit down. And there's a lot of like nice art, and I think for some reason it's quite a popular spot for the bikers. I think when we went there, it was something to do with the bikers.
Yeah, when we were there was like a big group of bikers that turned up with their jackets, and maybe the guy that owns it is a biker.
Because there was a lot of art around that as well, so I don't know. But it's definitely a very laptop friendly place. A lot of people there were working away, having business meetings. So again, another fantastic spot for coffee, food, and do some work.
I was there the other day and I spent like 8 hours there. So yeah, it's definitely a great place for that, for working. And finally, this one is actually, I keep saying my favorite. They're all our bloody favorite, to be honest. We love them all. But this one specifically was great for working as well as having a nice coffee and just a small bite. And it's called Bean Brothers. It's actually very, very chilled, relaxed, and it's 2 floors. You've got the downstairs area, which is a little bit more on the formal, more
like a meeting spot, and it's more where people meet.
Yeah.
And upstairs is actually a proper workspace where people just literally sit down to work.
Yeah, they've got this super cool, funky, round wooden table with like those nice lights that drop down, and just a really cool place to just sit and do some work for a couple of hours, but no more than a few hours, because one thing I have to say about some coffee shops here, the AC is on like 100,000% and it's freezing.
We have to bring our winter jackets to survive.
Yeah, so just be aware of that. Just bring a jacket with you or something, because after you sit down for a while, it just gets super cold. So that's Bean Brothers, guys.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that Bean Brothers in particular is in a really, really fantastic location. It's an old car park that's been revamped into this concept area where you've got a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants, a lot of bookstores, bakeries. And there's even like a big tree of life in the middle. It's just a beautiful spot for photos and chilling all day long. There is things to do for hours to come.
Yeah, and guys, there's no specific video for these coffee shops, but they are in just our vlogs. So again, if you want to go through our playlist, which is just on this card up here, just click on that and you will basically see the full playlist of all of our videos here in Kuala Lumpur.
And we will also leave our Instagram, so you can check out in the stories what the cafe looked like and what the food looked like, so you can make the right choice for yourselves.
Yeah, you can just check our highlights on our Instagram page, and all the stories are on our Malaysia highlights. So this one's Dace's Instagram and this one's mine. Alright, so number 3 on the list is a place that I really did not expect to go to here in Kuala Lumpur, or in Malaysia, the whole country to be honest, and it is the Huskiss Cafe. This place was just incredible. We were actually, I remember it was during the day, we were doing another activity, and we were like, how can we wrap up our day and do something fun? And Dace just went on Google and just searched for some cool things to do, and we ended up coming to this place called Huskiss Cafe, which we got to spend a full 1 hour with these amazing huskies, and it was just really, really heartwarming and really relaxing just to be around these big furry animals and just laying on the floor with them and just giving them a little cuddle, a stroke, and even me, I started brushing one of them, and kind of gave me a nice relaxation feeling.
The blood pressure was regulated immediately after spending a day with the dogs.
Exactly. They actually say that, well, they actually do this in hospitals where, I say the more the older generation are there and have to stay there for a while. Sometimes they take dogs into the hospitals for them just to actually stroke, because it actually reduces your blood pressure and it relaxes you. And definitely was the case after spending 1 hour with these incredible Huskies. It was a great experience.
And if you are an animal lover like we are, but you are a traveler and you can't actually keep an animal, this is really amazing. There aren't many cafes like that out in the world. I think there is one in Bangkok, one in Hong Kong, and one here in Kuala Lumpur. So if you love dogs, do it. And they're so very well trained, so beautiful, and just such lovely animals to spend your time with.
And then the reason why it's not easy to actually upkeep such a place is because the gent that is actually in there, that works there, he told me it takes him a full 24 hours to clean those 9 dogs, and he has to do that once a week. So you can just imagine the amount of work that goes into it. So he has to clean them once a week for 24 hours almost. And then after that, they have to take these dogs every single day for their walks in the morning and in the evening. So they need to be really looked after, like, I think more than kids, to be honest. Like literally, it's like having 9 crazy
Probably
kids.
Equivalent to kids, yeah.
Yeah, but imagine having 9 of them. So honestly, they're doing an amazing job. And I think, how much did it cost?
So just to give a bit of information on the logistics, this is actually not in KL, it's in Selangor, but it is only a half an hour's drive from KLCC city, so very accessible and easy to get to. And the cost is 50 ringgit, so it's approximately $10-11, and you get to spend 1 hour with the doggies. This $11 includes a hot drink or any drink of your choice that is served to you before you get to see the doggies.
Yeah, like a cup of coffee or a cup of tea.
Yeah.
They also got some cheesecakes, but we didn't have them.
We're on a diet.
Yeah. And guys, if you want to watch that video specifically, here is the card for you guys to go there and watch that as well. That's towards the end of the video. So next on the list, number 4, guys, is the Kuala Lumpur Bird Park. And one of my favorite places because I can speak to birds. It's my hidden trick.
Hidden talent.
Hidden talent, it's my party trick. No, just joking, guys. But it's a great place because it's in the heart of the city, and literally it's a great little getaway from the city itself, even though it's within it. It's basically cost 75 ringgit to go in for adults and foreigners. But if you're a local here in Malaysia, it's 35 ringgit.
Guys, if you want to book this experience with a bit of a discount, you can book it through our link below. If you use Yad's particular code, which he will provide in the description below, you'll get a bit of a discount. It's always good to save some money.
Yeah, it's just Yad8, and I'll leave the link for you guys literally just to click just below. And again, we really love this place because it's just got beautiful waterfalls in there, and all man-made of course, but it doesn't feel that way when you're there. And that's one thing I love about Kuala Lumpur. Even though they've got these recreational parks and bird parks, when you're actually there, it doesn't feel recreational because it all just ties in really well. So if you want a bit of nature, go and check it out. Also click this card up here if you want to go watch that video specifically.
And the birds are walking freely around the park, so this is the beautiful thing about it. It's kind of recreated as their natural habitat, so you can actually interact with fazans and owls and lots of beautiful birds. There's also cafes where you can stop over and have a coconut and have some food. Like you had mentioned, waterfalls. I think they were also at some point of the time doing bird shows, so you just need to check out what the program is before you go there if you're interested in that.
So let's move on to number 5, guys, which is the famous Chinatown. And Chinatown was actually the place that we spent our first few days here when we arrived, because we stayed at 4 Points by Sheraton, Chinatown. And if you guys want to go check out that vlog to see what the hotel is like, if you're looking for some places to stay for a few nights, then go check out that vlog as well. Here is the card. However, Chinatown was actually one of my favorite Chinatowns around the world, actually, because you've got Firstly, you've got Petaling Street, which is this amazing market of literally selling everything. They've got your fake stuff, they've got your incredible funky little food places, they've got the durian fruit. I'm not a big fan of it, but if you want to go have some of the durian, they've got that there too. And also just around Chinatown itself, there's a place called Rex KL, and it's basically like an old cinema that's been turned into this funky hangout type of place where you can just go in, and it's got all these restaurants and different like cafes and different things you can just enjoy whilst you're there.
A bar, rooftop, bookstore, tattoo place, it's incredible. It's a fantastic concept.
Yeah, so I think I recommend going to Chinatown towards the evening for those type of places, but just want to also point out that a lot of the small restaurants outside of Petronas Street, a lot of them actually close around 2:30 p.m. So actually, one thing I will say, if you want to go to the more funky streets, get there very early. I'd recommend get there about between 9 to 10 a.m. And then there's so many cool restaurants and back streets you can go have this ice cream that looks like the poo emoji, but it's really nice and tasty.
And there is also a temple and a very old school tailors. There is I think, was it called Kwai Chung Street? Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna put the right name here, but it was a fantastic street, a historic street where you could see the art of how people used to live back in the day. And that was actually my favorite spot there.
Yeah, great place to get your famous Instagram shots and just some nice, it's just a nice day out, to be honest. I think Chinatown's definitely a place that you guys have to put on your list. So guys, if you want to go check out everything to do with Chinatown and that video, here is the card that you can just click, head over there now.
And if you want to stay in Chinatown, then I would definitely highly recommend staying in 4 Points by Sheraton. It's a lovely hotel.
New as well.
It's new, and we had the best service there.
Oh, we had afternoon tea there.
Afternoon tea. We had lots of different activities, even a tour guide around Chinatown. The hotel organizes that for you. You've got a lovely pool with KL views. It's just a stunning place to stay all around if you're interested to explore Chinatown area.
So number 6 on the list is Berjaya Hills,
also known as Bukit Tinggi
and Colmar Tropical.
Well, it's kind of consisting of all these different things. I'll explain to you guys what it is. I think it was one of our favorite trips outside of KL.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be our favorite one because it was raining.
But it was. It's not in KL, but it's very, very close by. It's in Pahang, in the state of Pahang. It took us 1 hour by Grab to get there and cost us around 50 ringgit, which is approximately $11-12. So it's very easy to get there. And it's a very interesting concept. So Berjaya is a huge developer here in Malaysia. And what they have done is they have recreated a Colmar town from France. So the architecture you see up on the hilltop is as if you are walking around Colmar town in terms of architecture and the French music and some of the French restaurants there. But in essence, it's a hotel.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay in that hotel, you can. We didn't. We just paid a 14 ringgit, roughly $4 entrance to enjoy that area. And to be honest, even though it rained, we had the best time, didn't we?
Yeah, funny enough, I think because it rained, it made the experience better.
More magical.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be saying that, but then we went to this Japanese village, remember?
Yeah.
And it was basically like in this enchanted forest type of place. And they basically, where you go in, you hike a little bit, like maybe 10-minute hike just to get to the place. But they've also got this restaurant there, this Japanese restaurant where I had some like teriyaki chicken, and it was just, we were sat on the balcony and it was just raining and it was just like misty. So it was all kind of magical actually. So don't be afraid if it's raining the day that you have to go, or if it's sunny, it will still be a good experience.
Yeah, and just to explain why the Japanese garden. So other activity you get to do after you explore the French-looking town, the hotel area, you can get the hotel's shuttle for free or included in the 14 ringgit to take you to the Japanese inspired garden. So the whole landscape is done in Japanese style and it's just stunning, just like Yad said.
Oh yeah, they give you a jail bus to get there. Literally the bus we got on was like a jail bus. It was all like steel, and when the bus would turn, we was like sliding. Yeah, a bit crazy.
I did the job though.
We got there, we got there.
And then another thing you can do there, which is fantastic if you are coming as a family with kids, they've got a rabbit farm. So you have to take a shuttle again to another place. And in that farm you get to see hamsters and different little animals, and most importantly maybe like 10, 12 different rabbits, and you can get inside and play with them, which I think is an amazing thing to do with kids.
Definitely. And guys, if you want to check that video out as well, just click this card up here and it will take you directly to that video. So guys, number 7 on the list is the famous Petronas Towers, which is the twin towers here in Kuala Lumpur. And why we loved it is actually because it's literally 10 minutes from where we're staying, the KLCC area. And it's actually attached to Suria shopping mall. Suria shopping mall, I would say, is one of the more upbeat, trendy shopping malls here. It's got kind of your lavish shops like your Rolex.
Very luxury.
But also it does have your kind of more standard shops like a Uniqlo, Zara's. So it has kind of a little bit for everything, for everyone, should I say. Also, if you want to do the fountain show, which is, if you guys don't know what that is, and you may have seen it in like Dubai or Vegas, but essentially it's the place where you go outside the Petronas Towers, and music comes on, and essentially the fountains dance to the music. Great fun, and usually I would recommend getting there for around night time because all the lights turn on and it's just a bit more of a pleasant experience and it's not as hot.
And you probably get better photography because when Petronas Towers light up,
stunning.
The whole area is beautiful. You can get these famous photos with the twin towers behind you with all the lights.
Yeah.
And the fountain shows are every day, I think from 8 p.m. But please do check it because it can change. But yeah, so if you time yourself to go there around that time, you can view the fountain show.
Also,
around the park.
Also, there's a lot of restaurants as well. But one of our favourite restaurants we went to there was Burger and Lobster. We had this incredible beef and lobster burger. Tasted in so good. So highly recommend going there as well and getting a little bit fat.
So yeah, again, a nice day out where you're exploring KLCC area. What's with walking around the park, Petronas Towers that you can go up to, fountain shows, and just shopping in the mall, and then ending your night with a dinner and possibly even drinks on one of the rooftops.
There's a lot of rooftops, exactly. So if you want to check out that video as well, just click on this link up here and it will take you to the Suria Mall and Petronas Towers vlog. Okay guys, so next on the list is Bukit Bintang, also known as, for me, the Times Square of Asia.
Some say Piccadilly Circus of
Piccadilly
Asia.
or Times Square, yeah. Depends what you want to call it. But great, literally it's attached to one of the most famous malls here in KL, which is Pavilion Mall. I keep mentioning malls now, but I guess here in Kuala Lumpur, I've actually realised in Asia, people really love shopping malls here. And going by the comments, I think the reason for that is because it's just so hot outside. And there's not much you can do when it's hot. So you just go inside a shopping mall because it's got AC and so many restaurants and cafes.
And also bowling and cinemas
It's
and theme parks. There's like always a lot to do in the malls to escape the heat in a day.
Exactly. And then once you finish from the Pavilion shopping mall, you come out and you're enlightened with this huge kind of screens and there's fountains. It's a really busy area, really fun place to walk around. And when we were there, we did a couple of things. We actually ate at a Lebanese restaurant.
Alor Express.
Yeah, Alor Express, and we had some amazing hummus and tabbouleh and some chicken shish tawuk. So if you guys are into that as well, go grab some of those. Then nice food, nice Arabic food. And also, whilst we were there, we also went to Museum of Illusions. Quite funky, a little bit of fun, so if you kind of want to, find a few things to do. However, other than that, if you keep walking around the area, it's super lively. Sometimes there's people doing street performances. There's loads of places where you can get a bit of street food. There's small little marketplaces.
Nightlife is quite relevant there, and
yeah.
I think the most important thing about the area is the diversity of the foods. Any cuisine you can think of, you will be able to find it there, from Latin to Indian to Malaysian to Thai. It's all there.
That's just Malaysia for you guys. If you love your food, then you're gonna have a great time here because there's something for everybody. And guys, if you want to watch that specific vlog to get a little bit more knowledge about Bukit Bintang, just click this link up here. So now that brings me on to number 9, which is a famous food street here in Kuala Lumpur, which is called Jalan Alor Food Street. And I went there with a friend of mine, Z. She was here in Kuala Lumpur for a few days, so we went out and filmed this vlog together, and honestly it was super fun because, well, firstly, one thing I recommend, make sure you get there in the evening. I would say after like 7 or 8 p.m. because it gets more lively as the night goes on. And I was actually on the hunt to try to find the best type of Malay food when I was there, but one thing I found, it's a very multicultural type of street. So you can get Chinese food, you can get Malay food, Japanese, you name it. I mean, I even had like this famous Thai ice cream for dessert, which was super, super delicious. And we met some cool people down there. So it's just a very nice melting pot of culture down that street because you can meet some people from all around the world, have different types of food. And I think my favorite part of the whole street, I'll say two things. One, meeting some people around the world, and two was actually the Thai ice cream that I had. It was so delicious. And the guy, Bobby, I still remember his name. His name is
Hi, Bobby.
If you're watching, Bobby, you're a legend because honestly, he was, I think I say this a lot, but honestly, everywhere I'm going and I'm traveling nowadays, I always seem to get something that's the best. And this ice cream was the best ice cream I've ever had. Like so, so delicious. So if you want a reason to go down there and you don't want to have all the Chinese food or Malay food or anything like that, but you want an amazing dessert, just go there and have that Thai ice cream. So delicious.
Just to add, guys, Jalan Alor is a very touristic place, but it's one of those that you just have to see.
And if you want to watch that vlog as well, guys, hit this box up here and it will take you straight. Next on the list is number 10, and it is the famous Genting Highlands.
Genting,
sorry. Genting Highlands.
He still doesn't know how to pronounce things.
Well, I'm learning. Well, I should have learned by now, but anyway. So when you arrive there, guys, we actually stayed at a hotel for one night because it's just a little bit easier because it's a little bit of a distance from KL itself. But that was a bit of a funny experience, but I'm not going to get too much into it now. But what I want you to do is go watch the vlog. Just click this card here because it was a beautiful hotel, but we had a weird experience, and weird because of the type of service we had. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. I want you guys to check it out for yourself. I want to talk about Genting Highlands itself, and it's incredible. It's this huge kind of theme park in the middle of the mountains, which is just massive. They've got indoor theme park and outdoor theme park, and to get there you have to get the cable carts, and it takes you all the way up. And if you're lucky enough to get a nice clear day, it's just beautiful once you're up there. Or even if it's a little bit cloudy, you get to see all the clouds resting on top of the city. It's really, really nice, and a great place to go out with the family and friends and just enjoy a full day. Also, if you're into gambling, we're not ourselves, but they also have a casino.
Yeah, so in terms of logistics, again, it's an amazing city break because it's in the state of Pahang, and it is up in the mountains, so the climate is much more pleasurable in a sense that it's much cooler.
Yeah.
And you can easily get a grab there. It's around 45-50 minute drive, depending what time of the day you go there, and it will cost you around 50-60 ringgit. So again, around $10 to $13 to get there. What we did is we got to the Havana area because we got there really late, and we stayed in Havana Hotel the night because it's close to the rainforest, and we enjoyed flying our drone there because it's much more green and stuff. And then in the morning we took the cable cart all the way up to the Sky Avenue bit, which is where your casinos are, all the theme parks, all the shops, and lots of different games. I think we got stuck in with playing some basketball and trying to win some toys, but we were quite unlucky. It's basically, just to sum it up, it's literally like little Las Vegas of Malaysia. It's also the only place where it's permitted to operate casinos.
And guys, if you want to watch that full vlog itself, just click the card up here and it will take you to that video specifically. Next on the list is it's dinner at the famous KL Tower, which is called Atmosphere 360. And this was actually a great experience, guys, because you're literally, how much is it, 500 meters?
It's, I think 491, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just slightly under 500 meters, yes.
Yeah, it's basically like a 360 restaurant, and the actual restaurant itself spins around, but not fast obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be able to eat. But it's just really nice. It spins around super slow, you don't really feel it, but it's basically got a buffet and it's got the Malaysian Elton John there, the one
playing live music.
Yeah, it's playing live music, and the buffet is actually really nice. We ate a lot, more than I should have, but that's what happens at buffets. But it's just a really nice experience, nice dinner that you can experience when you're in KL. And also guys, if you wanted to book that experience for yourself, if you check the description box below, I've got a discount code for you guys to book that experience for yourself as well.
And the reason why it's so iconic is because KL Tower is one of the most iconic towers in the city. It serves a lot of different purposes, but it also has an observatory where you can see the most beautiful views of the city.
So guys, if you want to watch that video as well to see what the whole experience is like, I highly recommend checking the box just up here, and it will take you directly to that video.
So instead of just paying for observatory to see the views, you can actually get in the tower for free and pay for the dinner, because it's much more better value for money, because you actually get to have a lot of fun, not only eat good food, but see nice views and listen to live music.
Alright, next on the list guys is number 12, which is Berjaya Times Square Indoor Theme Park. This may not apply to everyone, but if you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie and you want to have a bit of fun with the family or friends, I highly recommend going there. I went with my friend Z, that was here for a few days as well, and honestly, like, I had a great time, to be honest. If you watch the vlog as well, you'll see me screaming on rides like I'm a child, but to be honest, sometimes you just have to enjoy yourself and let go, and it's a great place to do that. I think it costs 60 ringgit to enter, so not too much, and you get to have a full-blown day out. And also, if you wanted to do a bit of shopping whilst you're in Berjaya Times Square, it's a great shopping mall because it's got products from all around the world, I think specifically China, and you can get some amazing clothes there for like
very cheap.
Very cheap. Like I bought like a lot of t-shirts from there, and amazing material that I wouldn't even get in Zara for a fraction of the price. Also, if you wanted to get things like they've got a lot of spas in there for very cheap, and they are very clean spas. You can get like foot scrubs, foot massage, you can get your nails done for the ladies. Like, there's a lot of that stuff there for maybe like $10. You can get like a half an hour foot rub massage type of thing. Amazing. So you can easily spend a full day just in Berjaya Times Square. I love that.
Because they also have a bowling center there.
Yeah, they do.
And a cinema. So from theme park to bowling to cinema to spa to shopping, it's literally,
I think when I was there with my friend Z, we were there for I think 6-7 hours. We were in the theme park. After the theme park, that was about 3 hours there. Then we walked around, then we had some food, then we did some shopping, then did a massage and the foot. It was just literally, you can easily spend the full day there and not even spend too much money. It's not like your more expensive type of shopping mall. So if you want to watch that video as well, guys, click this box just up here and you can watch the full vlog on this shopping. Next on the list, if you're a bit of a shopaholic or want to do a bit of bargain hunting, has to be Central Market, which is based in Chinatown.
I personally really enjoyed Central Market, guys. If you are a bit like me and don't really like to mingle in huge crowds, this is perfect because it's an indoor market, and if you time it right, come sort of morning hours, you know, as soon as they open, then there is not many people and you can actually get stuck in and look at things properly without people pushing you around, you know, and it's really good quality thing.
Yeah, as Dave says as well, it's got a lot of good quality things, and we did a $20 challenge there, which was actually really funny because Dave obviously won and I lost. But anyway, we actually also got this amazing popcorn by that guy. I still remember his name. That's how good of a sales rep he was. His name was Abdi, and he made us buy like 3 big boxes of popcorn.
But it wasn't that he made us, it actually really tasted good.
Yeah, it tasted amazing.
They had some really fantastic flavors like lobster and salted caramel and, you know, all the fancy stuff.
Yeah. And guys, if you also want to watch that video as well, just click this card up there. It will take you right to the Central Market vlog. And next on the list, guys, and also final thing on the list, is the famous Batu Caves.
Yeah, this is definitely something you guys should see. It's one of the biggest touristic attractions here and also pilgrimage for Tamil Hindus. It's essentially a limestone crop out with 3 different caves that you can explore, but at the same time also with temples where Tamil Hindus go praying. And they have recently renovated it to the point where it just looks so beautiful. When we were there 5 years ago, there was no coloring or, you know,
they were just actually constructing, making it better.
Constructing it to make it visually appealing, if you like. And so when we got there now, we were surprised to see just how beautiful it was. The stairs and all the decorations were all different rainbow colors. There was a new temple nearby. The statue, you know, well, it was already there before, but all together it just looks so beautiful. It's really something that you should explore. And it's also a nice day out because there is a lot of markets around, right? So you can go do a little bit of shopping.
But if you don't like the busy hecticness, probably go there in the morning, like get there for 9, 10 a.m. because there will be less people. But when we went, there was actually a big Hindu celebration. That's why it was as hectic as it was.
And we also went in the day, which was a big mistake because it's really hot.
Very, very.
And trying to climb 272 steps up and surviving in the cave was really, really difficult. So I would really recommend, if you go there, either go very early in the morning to avoid the crowds and the heat, or maybe towards the evening time, because I think they're open until 7 p.m.
Yeah, and also when you finish off Batu Caves, what we did, we ended up going to, because we were in the kind of Indian spirit, we wanted to finish off our day with a nice Indian restaurant, and we were recommended by our amazing Grab driver to go to a place called Namaste. And wow, what an amazing restaurant. And I think we've only got a few days left here now in Malaysia. I think we should go back.
Yeah, and just to add, guys, it's in a different area. It's in the area called Bangsar, but it's definitely worth a visit.
And guys, I think that brings the end of our video here, and also the last video here in Malaysia. And personally, I just want to say, guys, once again, thank you so much for every single one of your likes, comments, your views, your good opinions, bad opinions, wherever it is, they're all welcome on the channel. As long as it's constructive feedback, of course. Yeah.
Yes, no, really, thank you so much, guys. We've connected with so many of you, and obviously we remember you for years to come. I just also wanted to add that, you know, we are a little bit sad that we weren't able to explore Malaysia like we initially planned. We were supposed to travel all across to the islands, to Penang, to Ipoh. We had huge plans, but unfortunately, due to personal reasons and to do with me personally and my health and stuff, we just weren't able to get stuck into things as much as we would like to, and we keep receiving messages saying, why don't you go here and there? And it's just to explain to you why we've kind of mainly sticked around Kuala Lumpur. It's just so I'm kind of closer to hospital and it's not so intense on me. But we are definitely coming back.
Yeah, we'll definitely come back to do places like Sabah and all of the
Georgetown, Penang, Genting Highlands,
definitely.
Ipoh.
I think we definitely love Malaysia. It's one of our best, most favourite countries in the world. It's a perfect place for anybody. Doesn't matter what you want. If you want a bit of peace, if you like the city, if you want expensive, if you want cheap,
beach, mountains, I mean, it's all here.
Yeah, I mean, when people tell me Malaysia's third world country, I just don't get it, because personally for me, I don't feel like I'm in a third world country most of the time. I think I love all the infrastructure. Everyone's quite switched on, and it's just got everything. I personally like a country to also have a little bit of the, I don't know, best way to put it, like a rough side to it. But I don't feel like Malaysia even has that. It's just, everything is just built so well for anybody. It's very peaceful. Everybody lives in conjunction with each other without too many issues that are publicly seen. Maybe obviously I know when you watch news channels, it always shows negative things about certain countries, but let's be honest, what country doesn't have an issue? So
I mean, each country has problems, and it's probably no different here. But in terms of, you know, traveling and in terms of living here, I would say it's definitely one of the better countries in Southeast Asia. I've never felt this pleasant and good anywhere else, and we've lived in different Southeast Asian countries as well.
Yeah.
And we got bored quite quickly. You are excited at first, but then you get quite bored, whereas here in KL, it just felt like I could easily live here.
Yeah, there's a great expat community here as well. So, you know, if you're thinking ever to move here with the family, or just on your own, or with your wife or kids, it's perfect for it. There's a lot of other Western people living here. There's people living here from the East, from Asia. Like, it's just a melting pot of culture, this place, you know. And if also you have a question about safety, I mean, we've been here for 3 months, and you know, touch wood.
Apart from losing our GoPro.
We lost the GoPro, but I mean, nobody stole it from me physically. The only thing that happened was we finished from Genting Highlands shopping area, which was the outlet mall, and I just left my GoPro on the bench in the valet area whilst I was waiting for a grab. And when we got home, I realized, oh my God, where's my GoPro? And then when I called the security office at the shopping mall, they said that nobody has seen it. And I said, can you check the cameras? They said they're not allowed to check the cameras without the police's consent, which I just don't understand. That's one thing I do not understand. It's your own camera, you know, you work there, why can't you check the camera? Because let's be honest, if they would have checked it, they would have seen who picked it up, you know? So that's the only thing that I would say was a bit annoying, but I wouldn't say that affected safety-wise. That's just like any country, if you leave things,
they're going to be taken.
They're essentially going to be taken. Doesn't matter if you're in the safest country in the world. There's always going to be somebody that wants it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and to wrap it up, guys, Malaysia is truly Asia. Like we said, there is something for everyone, and everyone can fit in easily. You know, you go to some countries and there's only sort of one ethnic group or one nationality, and sometimes you really feel like you stand out and don't feel like you fit in or don't feel comfortable. But here, because of the diversity, not even once I felt anyhow different. I felt very accepted and included. I felt like I fit the part because it's just, you know, so diverse.
Yeah, I think the local people here don't make you feel like you're a tourist.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important for somebody that leaves their home country to try to spend a long period of time in a country that's not their usual place of birth. And for us personally, that's very important, because we have been to other countries where we've spent a considerable amount of time, but we never really felt like we were part of the country.
Or even welcome, to be fair.
Or welcomed, exactly, even though we were there for a long period of time. So Malaysia definitely makes you feel like you are part of the country itself. So I think overall, as I say, thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you have any questions about our experience in Malaysia, or anything with any of the videos, or just anything in general, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Myself or Dace will answer. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next adventure. I'm not going to tell you where it is, you'll see on the next vlog, but I'm hoping that you guys can also still support us and enjoy our adventures.
Thank you so much, guys, and hopefully see you all in our next country.
Peace out, guys. Good night, good morning, wherever you guys are around the world. Peace out.